Hi there, Junior Lancers. Mrs. Centel here with another book unboxing video. And today I have 3 big boxes from Scholastic to unbox with you. So we actually got these books using proceeds from last year's book fair. This year we're doing our book fair through Follett, and it's coming up in February. It will run February 1st through February 12th. So stay tuned for more information on that. Let's take a look and see what we have here. We have by Edwidge Dandacat, who is an excellent author. It's 8 Days, A Story of Haiti. And this is a picture book. I'll read you this first page here. It says, "When I was pulled from under my house 8 days after the earthquake, my family was there waiting. The following day, everyone asked me, 'Were you afraid? Were you sad? Did you cry?' I was brave," I told them, "but when the earth shook again and again, I was afraid. And sometimes I cried because I miss Mama and Papa and my little sister Justine. But in my mind, I played." So a very powerful story. We have, what good timing is this? We have Camilla Harris, Rooted in Justice. And today, as I'm doing this, is Inauguration Day. So truly, it couldn't have been better timing than to get this book today. And again, another picture book. And I think I'm probably going to do a read aloud of this today. Another fantastic, fantastic story. Next month is Black History Month, and this is a beautifully written story by Kwame Alexander. So you probably know him as an author of, oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank of this series, Booked and the basketball series. I'm drawing a blank, but so he's a very prevalent author, and he wrote this picture book, which won the Caldecott Medal, the Newbery Honor, and it's an illustrated story. He also won the Coretta Scott King Award, again, timely because we just had Martin Luther King Day this week. And this story tells in verse how Kwame Alexander saw the history of his people. And actually I think in the Black History Month Choice Board that I have coming out, I have in there a video of Kwame reading that, and he reads it so beautifully. We have When Marion Sang by Pam Munoz Ryan, and so she's the author of Esperanza Rising. And this one, it won the Robert Silber Honor Book. And to read you what this one is about, it says, "In this harmonious introduction to the life of one of our country's greatest singers, feelings accompany the facts as a piano accompanies a voice. Marian Anderson is best known for her historic concert on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1939, which drew an integrated crowd of 75,000 people in pre-civil rights America. While this momentous event showcased the uniqueness of Marian's voice, the strength of her character, and the struggles of the times in which she lived, it is only part of her story. Like the operatic arias Marian would come to sing, Pam Munoz Ryan's text is as moving as a libretto, and Caldecott Honor medalist Brian Selznick's pictures are as exquisitely detailed and elaborately designed as a stage set. What emerges most profoundly from their shared vision is a role model of courage, for even in the face of enormous obstacles, Marian maintained her grace and dignity and fulfilled her dreams." So I am absolutely going to be doing a read aloud of this one in the upcoming month or so. We have The Astronaut Who Painted the Moon. And so these are both picture book biographies. This one is the story of Alan Bean. It says, "Lights flashed, a rocket rumbled. Alan Bean's dream was about to come true. The Apollo 12 mission rocketed through the sky, beyond Earth's orbit, and finally landed on the moon. Astronaut Alan Bean placed his foot on the ground and became the 4th person to walk on the moon's beautiful, barren surface. When he returned, Alan began to paint what he saw. He wanted the world to feel the magic and mystery that he felt out there, 240,000 miles away from home. The astronaut who painted the moon is for any reader who has ever longed to know what is in outer space, for any reader who has ever created art to express how they feel, and for any reader who has ever wondered what it's really like to walk on the moon. Very cool. All right, now we're getting into our regular chapter books. This one is The Secrets of Bear Haven, Mission to Moon Farm. We have, again, Secrets of Bear Haven, Hidden Rock Rescue. We have Captured, an American Prisoner of War in North Vietnam. So here we have historical fiction, my absolute favorite. A searing account of one American prisoner of war's incredible ordeal and captivity during the Vietnam War. We have Child of the Dream, a memoir of 1963 by Sharon Robinson, another perfectly timed story with Black History Month upon us and Martin Luther King Day earlier this week, and such a pivotal and historical inauguration day today. It says, a year of change. In January 1963, Sharon Robinson turned 13, the night before George Wallace declares on national television, segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever, in his inauguration speech as governor of Alabama. It is the beginning of a year that will change the course of American history. As the daughter of baseball legend Jackie Robinson, Sharon has opportunities that most people would never dream of experiencing. Her family hosts multiple fundraisers at their home in Connecticut for the work that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is doing. Sharon sees her first concert after going backstage at the Apollo Theater, and her whole family attends the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. But things don't always feel easy for Sharon. She is one of the only Black children in her wealthy Connecticut neighborhood. Her older brother, Jackie Robinson Jr., is having a hard time trying to live up to his father's famous name, causing some rifts in the family. And Sharon feels isolated, struggling to find her role in the civil rights movement that is taking place across the country. This is the story of how one girl finds her voice in the fight for justice and equality. I think this is definitely one I will do for a first chapter Friday. We have Rated. They Count Everything, and this one is a dystopian story. Societies thrive on order, and the rating system is the ultimate symbol of organized social mobility. The higher your rating soars, the more valued you are. The lower it plummets, the harder you must work to improve yourself. For the students at the prestigious Maplethorpe Academy, every single thing they do is reflected in their ratings, updated continuously, and available for all to see. But when an act of vandalism sullies the front doors of the school, it sets off a chain reaction that will shake the lives of 6 special students. Bex, Noah, Tamsin, Hannah, Chase, and Javi don't have much in common at first glance. But soon, each of them will be forced to face the unfair reality of the ratings and decide whether they're willing to fight for a better future. We have Not Enough by Maria Skrivan. And on the back it says, there's nothing worse than losing a best friend. And this one is a graphic novel. We have The True Definition of Neva Bean. And this is an NAACP Image Award nominated author, Christine Kendall. And this is cool because in her hair, there are words. I don't know if you can see that there. How cool is that? It says lonely, alibi, strength, betrayal, jealousy, freestyle, vulnerable, power, fear, empathy, alive, recognition, love, pressure, misery, awe, pride, affirmation, anticipation, revelation. Summer vacation is supposed to be the best time of the year, but for Neva Bean, it couldn't be worse. Wearing a bra makes Neva feel beautiful, but she's not sure everyone else feels the same. Her supposed-to-be best friend Camilla has her head in the clouds. Mom and Dad are gone all summer, working again, leaving Neva and her brother Clay in the care of their old-fashioned grandparents. Everything in and around Neva is changing, including her West Philly neighborhood, where activism is a way of life. The only thing that gives Neva any comfort these days is her makeshift dictionary. There, she chronicles the world through the many meanings of words. While the pages of her beloved dictionary reveal truths about what's happening around her, Neva must discover the best way to define herself. In this wholly original story by the author of NAACP Image Award nominee Writing Chance, a girl finds her voice in unexpected ways. So now we know why there are words in her hair. All right, let's see what else we have here. We have Out of Hiding, and it has a foreword by Alan Gratz, he's one of my favorite historical fiction authors. This is a Holocaust survivor's journey to America. It's by Ruth Gruner. And Ruth Gruner, it says here, was the co-author of the true story that became Prisoner B-3087, which is the book by Alan Gratz, and I have read that, and it is fantastic. It says, "The world is so beautiful. I want to live so much. A gripping, true story of war, survival, and starting over." So, historical fiction, Holocaust story. I was missing this book. So this is the Gregor and the Overlander series. We have the entire series again. At some point along the line, we lost the first book, which we can't have it. We have to have the first book. We have Asha and the Spirit Bird by Jasbinder Balan. An evocative debut weaves ancient Hindu beliefs into a fast-paced quest. Look at that beautiful cover. It says, Asha lives in the foothills of the Himalayas. Money is tight, and she misses her papa, who works in the city. When he suddenly stops sending his wages, a ruthless moneylender ransacks their home, and her mother talks of leaving. From her den in the mango tree, Asha makes a pact with her best friend, I'm going to say this wrong, Jivan, to find her father and make things right. But the journey is dangerous. They must cross the world's highest mountains and face hunger, exhaustion, even snow leopards. And yet Asha has the unshakable sense that the spirit of her grandmother, her Naniji, will be watching over her. Asha and the Spirit Bird is an unforgettable and uplifting story of desperation, peril, and faith that will transport you to some of the highest mountains on earth and show you how to overcome some of your greatest obstacles. And it's on the back, it says it's a modern epic. So this is definitely multicultural, but I think I'm going to be putting it in the adventure section because it is a multicultural adventure, right? So we're going to learn about the Hindu culture, it seems, but we're also going to be taken on an adventure, which is super exciting. We have Chris Lynch, Special Forces, Good Devils. So if you like Chris Lynch's soldier stories. We have another historical fiction, My Survival, A Girl on Schindler's List. I'm sorry, not historical fiction. This is actually a memoir, and it's by Rena Finder with Joshua M. Green. One person with courage to stand up for the innocent can make a difference. I should know. I'm alive thanks to someone who refused to stand by and do nothing. His name is Oskar Schindler. So if you've ever heard of Schindler's List, that's what that's about. We've got Trouble Twisters, The Monster by Garth Nix and Sean Williams, so fantasy. And again, I think I got the whole series. We have The Missing, part of the Trouble Twisters series. We have Unstoppable, Octobia May by Sharon G. Flake, the Coretta Scott King Honor Award winning author of The Skin I'm In. The Skin I'm In, I read, is fantastic. It's about this girl dealing with feeling different in school because her skin is so dark. And so the story of how she comes to accept herself and how she deals with her peers and finding acceptance in them as well. It says here, Octobia May is whip smart, quick-witted, and very curious. She's not shy about telling people what she thinks. And she loves to ask all kinds of questions, even if they lead her where others dare not to go. into the graveyard, or up the long troubled path that runs beside Bed River. Lots of times, Octavia May's questions aren't the ones folks want to answer, but that doesn't stop this girl who will not let her curiosity rest until she finds out what's true and what's not. Some see her as an odd child. Then there are those who think she's too nosy, outspoken, and pushy for a girl her age. After all, it's 1953, and any adult will tell you that children should be seen and not heard. Thank goodness for Auntie, who's allowed Octavia May to come live in her boarding house, a place filled with old folks, rumors, and mysteries. Auntie has a strong backbone herself. She understands what it's like to speak your mind and to probe when things seem not quite right. When Octavia May starts to look past the pretty curtains and guest room doors of her aunt's house, trouble, excitement, and wonder begin. Octavia May is convinced there's a vampire living in room 204. In this wholly unique novel, award-winning author Sharon G. Flake takes us on a heart-pounding journey of one unstoppable girl's quest for truths that explore issues of race and community, the impact of war, and secrets best left buried deep in the ground. So I think this one's actually going to be another historical fiction novel. We have The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle. This is historical fiction by Avi, Newbery Honor book. I read this book when I was in 7th grade, and I know that makes it sound like it's old, but no, it is fantastic. It's about this Charlotte Doyle goes on a journey, a trip on a boat. 13-year-old Charlotte Doyle is excited to return, it's covered up on the back, but from her school in England during the summer. But when the two families were supposed to, something cancels their trips. Charlotte finds herself on a long sea voyage with a cruel captain and a mutinous crew, yet soon after stepping aboard the ship, she becomes enmeshed in a conflict between them. What begins as an eagerly anticipated ocean crossing turns into a harrowing journey where Charlotte gains a villainous enemy and is put on trial for murder. So a super exciting adventure story. In fact, I don't even know if it is in fact historical. It may just be an adventure. I'm trying to recall. We will leave the jury open on that one. We have Rick. So for those of you who have read George by Alex Gino, this is a companion novel. Rick's never questioned much. He's gone along with his best friend Jeff, even when Jeff's acted like a bully and a jerk. He's let his father joke with him about which girls Rick might want to date, even though that kind of talk always makes Rick uncomfortable. In truth, he hasn't given his own identity much thought because everyone else around him appears to have figured it out. But now Rick's gotten to middle school and new doors are opening. One of them leads to the school's Rainbow Spectrum Club, where kids of many genders and identities congregate, including Melissa, the girl who sits in front of Rick in class and seems to have her life together. Rick wants his own life to be like that, even if it means breaking some old friendships and making some new ones. As they did in their groundbreaking novel George, award-winning author Alex Gino explores here what it means to search for your own place in the world and all the steps you and the people around you need to take in order to get where you need to be. We have Bone Hollow by Kim Ventrella, author of Skeleton Tree. A sensory delight, Gabe's voice is distinct and reinforces the humanity amid the magic. Death is only the beginning. In retrospect, it was foolish to save that chicken on the roof in the middle of the thunderstorm. But what choice did Gabe have? If he hadn't tried to rescue Miss Cleo's precious pet, she would have kicked him out. And while Miss Cleo isn't a perfect guardian, her house is the only home Gabe knows. There's more to that one. Definitely check it out if that sounds interesting to you. We have A Bicycle Spy. Can he race his secrets past the Nazis? So historical fiction here. We have The Harlem Charade. Offers dreams, hope, and plenty of action, says Blue Vallier, who wrote Chasing Vermeer and Hold Fast. And this is by Natasha Tarplay. Everyone has a secret. Do you believe that story? Said Alex. Elvin held up his finger to silence her. I don't think we should talk here. They started down the hall, so focused on reaching the door that they didn't notice a figure lurking in the shadows. But to be sure, a pair of stony dark eyes noticed them. Pretty cool. Seems like it might be a mystery or an action story. Another copy of Drama by Raina Telgemeier, graphic novel. And Graveyard Shakes by Laura Terry, another graphic novel. And Bears of Ice, The Keepers of the Keys. We have the first Bears of Ice story, which is, or the first two, I believe. There's The Quest of the Cubs, The Den of the Forever Frost, and this. And this is 7 Good Reasons Not to Grow Up by Jimmy Gownley. And this, again, is a graphic novel. All right, so that, my friends, is box number 1. And that was super long, so I'm actually going to finish this video and do a separate video for box number 2 and kind of a half because we have this little box. So keep a lookout for that one coming up. And I hope you saw something that you are interested in reading in this pile. Make sure that you put your books on hold in Destiny and fill out the book form. And we're actually going to start doing something a little different with the in-school book pickup. So previously I was bringing books to your enrichments. Now we're going to change that up a little bit, and I'm going to be creating a pickup station in the front of the media center. So instead of having the books delivered, what you're going to do is you're going to receive an email from me saying that your book is ready. And the reason that I'm doing this is because instead of waiting until the end of the day enrichment to get your book, you may be able to come pick it up first thing in the morning, or even just earlier in the day so that you have it to enjoy quicker. So you'll just make sure to keep an eye on your email for notification from me that your book is ready to come and pick it up. All right, thanks for watching. Happy reading.